Welcome back to Bradford, and we stood here outside the Kirkgate Centre, or the Arndale as you may know it, and we're going to head inside and have a look round because I'm told it's going to close very, very soon and it's going to be demolished. So for nostalgic reasons I want to take one last look around inside and see what's left. Now you either love it or hate it. It's one of those buildings in Bradford where it's very brutalist, very different looking, shall we say, and it's always had divided opinions. Even when I was a kid, I remember thinking, what the heck is that building? It's all concrete, bricks, and very, very obtrusive in Bradford, but some people absolutely love it. And like I say, at some point over the next few months this is going to close forever and it's going to be razed to the ground and something new built on the site. We're not sure yet. It's not going to be anything exciting like a shopping centre. I believe it may be housing or even a park or something like that. Anyway, I want to go inside because I've not been in there for a long time, and as a kid this was my go-to place to buy clothes, etc. So let's head inside and see what's left, because I've got a feeling it's going to be pretty derelict, because a lot of the big units that used to be in here have now moved to the Broadway Centre, which is at the bottom end of town. So yeah, I'll be very interested to see what's remaining. So the first thing I see as we come in is the old, I think this was the Primark unit, and it's all closed and boarded up, and a lot of the shops are now long gone. A lot of these units here are empty. Yeah, it's just the smaller shops like the newsagents, the fragrance shops. The jewellers are still here. Yeah, I think this was the Primark. It's that long since I've been in. But I do remember coming in here as far back as like the mid-80s as a child. I remember standing on the old escalators that used to be there with the fountain in the middle. Who remembers the fountain and the ponds that used to be here in the middle? I remember riding up the escalators and throwing money into the fountains, and the old Greggs and Baker's Oven that used to be upstairs, Argos, Littlewoods, Index, all them old shops that are long gone now. Okay, we'll venture upstairs very soon. TJ Hughes is gone. Looking very dead down this part. But what surprises me is a few of the units, like that one there, they've still got to let on it. I don't know why they're going to bother, because I'm reliably informed it's going to go very soon. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see Christmas this year as their main sort of disappearing off the radar, get a bit of Christmas trade in, and then January just disappear and close forever. Now we don't know if it's going to be announced. We don't know if there's going to be like a final hurrah sort of thing, or even if anyone's going to mention it, or if it's just going to close and that is that. But what we do know is it will get demolished. So that's why I'm here today, to have one last look, because this could be the very final time that I walk into the Kirkgate Centre, to spending all my childhood in here, and yeah, lots of memories for this place. Yeah, it's looking very run down now. Like I say, I remember the days when you had the big stores in here. In fact, it was the only shopping centre for Bradford for a long time. You had the markets and the outside shopping areas, but this was the only mall that Bradford had that was the main attraction. Whereas now we've got the Broadway, which they promised when they built wouldn't kill the Kirkgate. They said it would complement it and it'd be two different sides to it, but as we all predicted, that wasn't the case. And all the trade has gone down the bottom end of town. Nobody bothers to head up here now, which baffles me as to why they've built the brand new Bradford Market opposite the Kirkgate, because when this closes, the top end of town is just going to be a ghost town. It surprises me that they've started to build things at the top end, because all the shopping now seems to be down the bottom. Anyway, let's head upstairs and have one last look round. See if I can remember some of the old units and have a look in the market as well, because that's still here today. If I remember rightly, this little corner unit here, when you come off the escalators, was the baker's oven, and then later turned into Greg's and Thurston's, I think, before that. Yeah, and up here you had Argos, Index Littlewoods. Now Greg's moved over there. And you've got Sports Direct. But it's a bit more happening up here, I must say. There's quite a few shops that are still open. It's not all doom and gloom. Yeah, if you just look over there, that's the old Primark unit, which is 2 levels, but it's gone now. That has now just moved to the Broadway, a much bigger store. New Look's always been up here from what I remember. I also remember at one point, I think that was the Argos or the Index there, I can't really remember. Anyway, let's have a look down here, then we'll head into the market. A lot of the stuff in here you can tell is temporary. It's all, temporary stalls and run-down shops, because they ain't going to last much longer. And a lot of them, like you can see here, are all boarded up. Yeah, let's head into the market. I haven't been in the market for 20 years, maybe more. I used to come in here with my sister when I was a kid, all the time. I remember they had a great joke shop in here. But yeah, like I say, it's just not been in for a long time. I'm curious to see if any of the businesses are still here. We've got a lot of nail shops and phone shops, as you would expect these days. Usual things that you find in markets: purses, wallets, bags, hats. There's still quite a few shops. From what I heard, it was. I heard a lot of these had moved out and it were empty now. There's a few empty ones here. I mean, you can see how dead it is in here. Like I say, if you came in on a Saturday, I remember it being really, really busy in here, and shoulder to shoulder. It hasn't been like that for a long time. That's probably because, like I say, they've started to wind it down anyway. I do remember some of the really popular cafes in here. They used to be really bustling, and you could smell the coffee as you walked round. I mean, it was never an attractive looking market anyway. It was always a bit, a bit run down and a bit dark in here, I always found. Yeah, it's very quiet this side. Even the cafes are closed. And I still remember the mural that was up there, which is still there on the wall. Yeah, this is all gonna come down. A lot of bloody demolition rubble here. You've got 2 or 3 floors of, well, you've even got the car parks on the roof, so what, 4 or 5 floors of stuff. Let's just head out here, because I remember there being a sculpture out here. Just look at the concrete on that. It's so 70s in here. I mean, this bit here has not been touched since the day it opened, probably. You can tell, look at the old 70s orange and brown colours, and you remember the old flooring, still like that today. And even the lighting's yellow in here. I think this is the original Bradford Market cross. Yeah, there you go. The shaft and base of the original Bradford Market. It was in the old marketplace at the bottom of Westgate, from whence it was removed. Yeah, so some part of the history there. That is definitely old. And it's been here since 1916, so it would have been in the old Kirkgate Market before this one, which was knocked down controversially. It was a beautiful, beautiful Victorian building, which they did let rot and fall to pieces, a bit like this now, and then they had to demolish it, whereas this one is exactly the same. According to that, Kirkgate Market opened in 1973, so there you go. And like I say, it's not that old really, but as with anything, it outlives itself and they want to get rid of it. It's a shame really, but I am glad to see the back of this, I've got to say, because it was never a worthy replacement for the original one. And not that I remember the original one, but I've seen lots of pictures and it looks damn sight better than this. As a kid coming here in the 80s, I do remember, thinking this place was big business because we didn't have any different, we didn't know any different. Yeah, it's actually surprised me that, because it's a lot busier than I thought it would be in here. I expected to come in and see everything shut and nothing left. And nobody in here, but there's actually quite a bit going on. There's a lot of stalls, actually. A lot of these, I'm told, are going to move into the new market, which we'll have a look at outside the doors. And we're going to head outside and we'll just have a look at the new market next door, which is an actual market and not a mall. Like I said, the Broadway has taken over this one. And while we're out here, I just wanted to have a look in the car park entrance here, because if you didn't know, the car park is the top 2 levels on the roof of the building. And I always found that really weird when I was a kid, because the ramp to get up is in here. And I don't know if I can show you, but it was horrendous. Yeah, let's just head in. So the ramp in here is so steep. As a kid, I remember my dad revving it to get up the ramp, and then if there was traffic on the ramp, you had to stop and put the handbrake on with the risk of it rolling back on that hill. But it doesn't seem that steep today. It actually looks all right, but no steeper than most other car parks. But I do remember as a kid thinking it was really steep. We're just on the outside of the centre, walking down the side of it, and like I say, you can see how abandoned this section of the city is now, because everybody's, if they do come into Bradford, they're at the bottom section. I've just got to apologise about the cloudiness on the lens. It's just frosted, steamed up because I've come out. There we go, I've cleaned it now. I just noticed it had misted up when I came out. So there's the new market on Darley Street, and it's not open yet. It's looked like it's been finished for over a year now, but it's still apparently not ready yet. And I thought it'd be open at the end of summer and ready for Christmas, but apparently not. I just can't see how they're expecting everyone to head up here for this when the 2 markets that are up here already are dead, and everybody, like I say, is now down the bottom end of the centre. If we just look over there, and I'll zoom in, I'll just stand here and zoom in for you, but you can see they've put the original Bradford Markets, or the original Kirkgate Centre gate from the entrance that they've kept in storage for many years, and they've displayed it there in the courtyard of the new market for when it opens, which is a nice touch. I do like that, celebrating the history. I just can't see who's going to make their way up this very steep hill to go shopping in there. I mean, they might surprise us, but I just think it's the wrong decision. I think, if anything, the market should have been down the bottom end, maybe next to the Broadway, or even in some empty buildings somewhere. Why build a brand new, multi-million pound building that might not even get used? It's very nice. I always remember as well on Kirkgate the oversized delivery entrance, if you remember it. Just here, it was always a bit of an eyesore. I always wondered why they never had gates across it to cover it up, because it's just a big hole for all the deliveries underneath, and it's on the main shopping street as you walk past, which I never understood, because it's just horrible. They even had a label on the top there, like service yard, like it was something to celebrate. I just never understood that. It was always a bit of an eyesore. Well, there you go. I know that was a really short video, but I just wanted to have one last look around Kirkgate and document it on YouTube for those that are probably never going to set foot in there again, because that was probably the last time I'm ever going to set foot in that building, which is a bit nostalgic for me. Like I said, as a kid, I used to regularly go in there, and it was my go-to place, and I'll probably never see it ever again. And I'm not going to miss it now. I've got no desire to go back in there, because it's just not it's a shadow of what it used to be. But I just had to have one final look inside, especially hearing the rumours that it might be gone for good this Christmas, and never to open its doors again. So I just wanted to document it, what it looks like in its last couple of months operating. I mean, there could be another year in it yet, who knows, but either way, it's going to come down soon, and I'll probably not come back. I just happened to be in the area, in the city, and I thought, I'm just going to pop in and document it. There you go. Thank you very much for joining us here in Bradford at the Kirkgate Centre, or the Arndale, one final time. I'll see you in the next video next week. Bye for now.